The Golden State Warriors are in some serious trouble, and I know a lot of you guys don't really want to admit that, and I know there's a lot of videos out there that are saying that they're just fooling everyone, but if I'm being real, they are in some trouble right now. For starters, their win now player that they just traded for is actually going to be sidelined for at least 3 months, so they don't really have him for the end of the season. And this Warriors team has proven time and time again that they are consistently inconsistent. I mean, how do they always go 2 games above 500 and then they immediately lose the next 2 games to drop back to 500? This is just not going to slide in the Western Conference right now. I mean, if you look at the West right now, there's many teams that aren't separated by many games, so anything could really happen. If the Warriors continue to play the way they currently are, we have to begin to ask ourselves, how much trouble are the Warriors actually in? Let's take it back to January 25th, where the Warriors would go on a small 3-game win streak. They would win against the Grizzlies, Raptors, and Thunder, putting them 2 games above 500 with a record of 26-24. But remember what I said earlier, they are consistently inconsistent. They would immediately go on a 2-game losing streak right after losing to the Timberwolves and Nuggets, putting them back at 500 once again. But the Warriors would bounce back with another 2-game win streak, beating the Mavs and the Thunder back to back, and then all of a sudden they drop back down to 500 because they go on a 2-game losing streak, losing to the Blazers and Lakers. There's a common pattern here in the Warriors' losses that they received during their struggles, and it's second half scoring, specifically fourth quarter scoring. And it's not just in their losses, it's also in some of their wins. We can begin by looking at the Warriors' loss against the Minnesota Timberwolves. If we look at the scoring, the Warriors were up by 11 going into the fourth quarter, and then they would be outscored by 11, which would lead to overtime, and of course they were outscored in overtime by 5, leading to the loss. But I'm not just basing my claims off of this one game. The very next game they would play the Denver Nuggets and get blown out. But leading into the second half, the Warriors were only down by 1 point. But then they were outscored by 13 in the third quarter and 3 in the fourth, leading to the blowout. Games like this could have been easily won by the Warriors. They had a fair chance to win that game, and yet they just fall apart in the second half and the fourth quarter. And even in games that they're winning, they give their fans a heart attack in the fourth quarter. I mean, look at the Dallas Mavericks game. They won by 6 points, but they were outscored by 10 in the fourth quarter and they almost lost. The ability to close out games is a very valuable skill in the NBA, and not many teams are able to do it very well, and clearly the Warriors are one of those teams. This weakness is going to haunt the Golden State Warriors even if they make the playoffs, because in the playoffs, you gotta close teams out to get that win and get the advantage in the series. But if they are unable to do this, they are probably gonna get kicked out of the first round. And it's not like they can just rely on their heavily powered offense, because they rank 17th in offensive rating, which is on the lower half of the league. And on the defensive side, they rank 17th as well, on the lower half of the league. They're just average at both sides of the basketball. And you must ask yourself, do average NBA teams win championships? And you gotta come to the conclusion that no, they do not win championships. They're either a great offensive team or amazing defensive team. You cannot be average at both sides of the basketball and expect to win championships. However, with all that being said, I do believe that the Warriors still have a chance of making the playoffs and making a serious case for a championship title. They just have some major issues to fix, but if they can overcome that hill, then I do believe they are serious title contenders. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Warriors are fine and they're just fooling you all. They are not fine as of late. And I'm sure you guys have all seen from their recent play. But yeah guys, that's going to do it for this video. So if you liked the video, make sure to hit subscribe and leave a like on the video and drop a comment down below. Do you guys think that the Warriors are just fooling everyone, or are they legitimately in trouble as of right now?